Welcome to Fazi Rail Academy, Africa's leader in railway skills development. I am Portia Nkuna and I am the founder and managing director of Fazi Rail Academy, a black woman-owned entity that was formed in 2018. Our core business is skills development, railway training and career guidance for high schools, TVET colleges, universities and universities of technology. Mr. Mafule, welcome to Fazi Rail Academy. As indicated earlier on, so this is our transport integration model. So this model is a realistic model that shows a full picture of how a South African transport system works in an integrated format. This is a 4 meter by 1.5 meter model, which is realistic. It contains a number of subsectors within the transport space. Firstly, on this side, we have the maritime subsector of the transport sector. And then right at the center of the model is our railway system, which is its two loops of rail, which is fully signaled with all the signaling principles integrated into the rest of transport. Over and above that, obviously, transport does not work in isolation to other sectors within the country. We have on this far side of the model an indication of or a representation of the agriculture sector, which is also linked to transport sector, and the transport sector being a mode that is able to transport all the agricultural commodities within the country. And we also have the mining sector. You can see here represented by a mine, where then also our transport system fits within the mining sector, as it is used for the transportation of coal, for instance, and all the minerals that are mined in different mining areas within the country. As you know, that the transport sector uses electricity in a number of subsystems, so well represented by ESCOM, as we have a representation of ESCOM substation. And obviously, there is also an element of construction sector, which also is integral to part of the transport system as well.
So what was the motivation for this concept?
Look, growing up as a child, having grown up in the outskirts of KwaZulu-Natal in a small town called Escort, in a mission called Epangweni. The only time I encountered rail was when I was walking 10 kilometers to and from school. That was only by foot when I crossed the railway line and a level crossing. That was the only thing I knew about rail. So now, having worked in the railway space, been fortunate enough to do so, I have decided that I need to plow back the knowledge that I have acquired back to the communities that are disadvantaged or not privileged enough to have a knowledge or be exposed to the workings of railway. These are the rural and township high schools and TVET colleges and universities. So the mere purpose of this is to return the knowledge back to these areas, so that the kids out there can have a good understanding of the opportunities in terms of careers that exist within the rail and all the transport sector space. What a transport system in rail is all about.
Can you give me a demonstration?
Okay, so as you can see, this is what I've just done. I have just operated train number 906. So this is the passenger, the Shosholoza mail train that is traveling at speed, say hypothetically speaking, now speed notch 2, going to its destination. So this is basically the one of the demonstrations that the kids would be able to play around this control system. So for instance, then we're going to start to move a train number 406. So typically this is what the kids would do. Just come a little bit closer. This is typically what the kids would do. As you can see, train number 406 is standing there in front of a green signal. A green signal is what in layman terms we would say it's a green robot. But in railway signaling terms, you call it a signal. So it's indicating a green, showing that the train driver of this train number 406 can depart at any time. So this is what we are going to do. This is the control module that the learners are going to use to control the trains, moving the trains from their desired destination to their departure point to their desired destination. So now we are going to call on locomotive 406 to start moving.
This one.
Yes, that is locomotive 406.
Yeah.
So the learner would typically select the locomotive that they would like to move by pressing the loco master button, and then they would select locomotive 406, and then as you can see, locomotive 06 is starting to respond by giving us a hooter. So now we are going to start moving locomotive 406 at speed. As you can see, it's starting to move at a green signal. You'll realize that after some time the green signal turns red as the train has gone past it. This is one of the signaling principles that has been embedded on the software programming of all the signals that you see together. So that signal will change also to red. As the train passes, the signal will turn to red. Those are the signaling principles. So the learners would be taught what does that mean and why do signals change like that. As you can see, the signal is yellow, and then as the train approaches, it turns green. That is also one of the signaling principles, what we call approach. It's approach locking or approach calling of a signal. So it senses through the track circuits that the train is approaching, and then it changes its aspects from yellow to green automatically. Over and above the railway signaling, we also have road traffic signaling, what we call road traffic lights. As you can see, the learners will enjoy the benefit of understanding the distinct differences between road signaling and rail signaling. As you can see, if you come closer, you pay attention that the road traffic light, starting from the bottom, it has green, yellow, red. However, when you come to rail signaling, if you look at this signal, it is green, yellow, red. So it's actually opposite in terms of over and above that. Obviously, all this infrastructure is the responsibility of specific entities within the country. For instance, if you can just come around, you will see on the side, earlier on I did indicate, just come around the side. I did indicate earlier on that we have also the maritime subsector within transport. Here, Transnet plays a big role as they are the custodian, the entity that is the custodian for all our national ports. So as you can see, the Transnet logo here on the side, please come around the side. As you can see, a representation of the Transnet as an entity that is responsible for our national ports. So, in essence, what will the learners do practically? So the learners will be given tasks or exercises. They will be given an exercise to transport passengers from a Prasa station to a specific destination while they adhere to railway signaling principles. And secondly, they will also be required to transport commodities like coal from one departure point to the other while respecting the rail signaling principles. And they will be asking between to go and load coal at the coal mine, where they will be taught principles of shunting, what is shunting and who does shunting within rail, and what are those professions all about, and what do you need to study in school in order for you to be a shunter. Point number 5, this one is lying for the straight direction. Now I'm going to ask the operator to turn point number 5 to lie for the siding direction. You saw the movement of point 5 now is lying for the point direction, and as soon as that happened, the signal turned into red. That is providing protection for any movement that is coming from that side going into the siding. Now I'm going to ask the operator to turn point number 5 back for the straight position to allow the movement of locomotive number 906 to approach the green signal. Has approached the green signal, which will soon turn red. Now we are preparing for the shunting movement. The shunting movement is a movement of the locomotive from the main line into the siding. At this instance, it is going to go to a mining siding for loading off or coupling of the wagons, the coal wagons. So now I'm going to, in doing so, ask the operator to operate point number 5 to lie for the direction of the siding. Now point number 5 is lying for the direction of the siding. Now the route for the locomotive 906 is ready for it to be shunted from the main line into the siding to couple with the wagons of the coal. I will ask the operator now to shunt locomotive number 906 into the siding. There, the shunting movement has started. Now the locomotive 906 is reversing, shunting into, changing the direction now into the siding. I will ask the operator to shunt, to reverse the train a bit more. Now the locomotive has successfully shunted into the siding where the wagons can be coupled into the locomotives after they have been loaded with coal. So that is what we call in railway terms shunting, and it is done by professionals called shunters. Thank you everyone. So in a nutshell, we have captured for you the essence of what Fazi Rail Career Guidance Model is all about. And I hope that you will find this instrumental in achieving your objectives in skills development for the country. Thank you.